Hi everyone and welcome to the All Things ITSM Global Podcast. We're coming to you from FUSION15 in New Orleans. I'm Kirstie Magowan. I'm here with Jarod Greene.
Hey, Kirstie.
Carlos Casanova.
Hello, Kirstie.
And we have the pleasure of chatting with Doug Taylor
Hi,
this morning.
my pleasure. Good to be here.
How are you?
Hello, Doug. So we're here at Fusion, just crossed Halloween. Everyone was in costumes all this weekend. I'm sure it was an interesting spectacle down here. I intentionally missed it. I flew in late last night to just kind of stay out of it. But I'm sure there was a lot of heroes, dressed up around here, and you've been working in that space. So, what was your hero costume for the last few months? What have you been working with in that hero realm?
Yeah, there's this mentality out there that promoting IT folks as being heroes.
Yeah.
And I kind of rail against that. I think we don't need to be heroes. I think we just need to do good jobs and work with our businesses. And it doesn't take heroic effort. It just takes the effort.
Right.
And so too many times we get lost in this hero syndrome when we're trying to win points and that kind of thing. And that's not really what it's about.
Right. I remember a client years ago that I worked with that they were so misguided in it that they were rewarding the arsonist.
Right.
Is the way I like to call it.
Yep.
It's like, well, Chuck is in here on nights and weekends. Well, Chuck can't get his job done in 40 hours. So at the end of the year, they went into reviews, and I know a few individuals ended up leaving the company because they were getting their work done. They were doing what needed to get done. They weren't causing additional efforts. They were getting it done within sort of the scope. But one of the individuals that the manager just wasn't really in tune with what was going on with the team, who was there on nights and weekends, basically because he was causing most of the issues. Mm-hmm. The manager rewarded him, promoted him, and the team was looking like, what's going on? We're rewarding heroes at times or incenting them to just work more and more visibly. But that's really not what we should be doing, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. And in fact, when we do reward the folks that do that kind of stuff, and I like the term, the arsonist. They create their own.
So that was your hero. The arsonist is the hero.
So they create their own problem, and then they turn around and put out the fire, right?
Yeah.
But you just talked about what usually happens is it creates resentment in the rest of the team.
Yes.
They start to notice that the hero gets rewarded for the wrong behaviors, and all their good work kind of goes out the door. So they start becoming very resentful. They disengage. They don't want to be part of the team, and it starts to destroy an IT organization very quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
I had I've been talking about IT heroes at conferences over the past.
But yours are like your grandchildren.
Yeah, no, they're the best sort of heroes, yeah. But when I was on my way to a conference earlier in the year, I had grabbed a new piece for my presentation because I was standing in the lounge in LA and there was a family who were obviously going on holiday, and the father's phone rang and I heard him on there and he was going through, he was obviously doing IT support and he was going through what sounded like a very structured way of fixing an IT issue. And he was telling, and they were off on vacation. They had 3 little kids and they were heading off on vacation. And he was pacing around telling these IT people what to do. And then he got off the phone, he came to his wife and he said, I don't know how they're going to cope without me for 2 weeks because they don't know how to fix the simplest things. And I'm sitting there thinking, have you told them how to fix those simple things?
Right.
But
Exactly.
he
And does he want
liked
them?
being the hero.
I was just going to say,
being the hero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's that job security,
Yeah.
right? And
they
it's a
can't live
false sense
without
of
me,
security.
yeah.
But that's the thing that's strange, right? It's a false sense of security because those are the same individuals that are going to complain that they can't be promoted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
we can't afford
Yeah.
to take you out of
Yeah.
that role because you're so valuable to us. But at the same time, they're creating that logjam. So I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thing that we're seeing constantly, but I think only recently have we started labeling it, maybe. And recognizing. And I mean, so you're working in that space. How do you see companies addressing that? How do they? Because I can't imagine it's a pleasant experience having.
Yeah. Well, I'll look at it from the different direction. If you don't address it, you run into a lot of issues, right? And companies suffer because of that because the guy can't go on vacation, he can't be promoted, they can't bring in the new technology. So I think if companies start to recognize that they're rewarding that hero, and they start to understand that they're part of the reason why they're heroes is they're hoarding the knowledge, right? Yeah. And so they really, companies need to really promote this idea that we get better if we share our knowledge together. We're stronger if we do that, and then the complaining goes away and the morale starts to increase and that kind of thing. And I point that out to companies when they run into that. We've got to get Joe on this. Well, why? Because he has the knowledge. Why?
Yeah.
You know,
Why is
you
Joe
can,
the only
Yeah,
person?
Why is Joe-
Exactly.
why is that?
If Joe gets hit by a bus,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
well, he's a superhero, so he's going to miss the bus.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
he'll
But that's the thing, right? And you know, sadly, you know, the reality is we will find a way around it, and it's not may not be pleasant, but companies don't just stop.
Right.
You know, because Joe gets another job,
Right.
Yeah.
and we figure out something. You
But
know,
it's costly.
it is
very
It's costly. But I mean, in IT, we're really good at getting rid of, you know, single points of failure in our technology, but we don't think about those single points of failure in our people.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what the knowledge hoarder becomes.
they
It's a
are.
single
They're a
point of
single point
failure
of
within the,
failure.
you know, the process and the technology can only do so much.
Yeah.
If the people are hoarding knowledge and not sharing it, there's your point of failure, and that's
And
most
it is,
times the
yeah.
bigger risk.
It is all about knowledge management.
We
Yeah.
talked about it this
Yeah.
morning. I think there's that element of how do you incentivize people to not hoard,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And then how do you incentivize people to leverage the information that they stop hoarding?
Yep.
Because there's that side of it that says, well, I'll provide this information. I was on vacation, they called me, I stopped, I told them what to do. Did anyone write it down? Did anybody document it? No, of course. That's why I'm
Yep.
Joe. That's why I'm the guy. But if there's value in saying, no, Joe, we document everything you
Yep.
said, we use it, we never called you with this issue again,
Right.
then he starts to see the value of being able to enjoy that time with his family and his kids. And I think there's another element of analytics that play a role. So I think there's these, you know, either micro actions or steps that people take that, again, they don't document.
Yeah.
But need to go somewhere. And so for us to start to capture that information, repurpose, repeat, it gives everybody an opportunity to benefit. It's the organizational goal. If we need to move fast, we need to be safe, we need to be secure. But if we don't all kind of drive in that direction,
Yep.
we're going to end up stagnant.
But on that note, I think that's part of it from a social dynamic perspective, right? We need to move fast.
Yeah.
If I call Joe, it's
Yeah.
going to move faster.
Yeah.
So that's where the difficulty comes in. It's like we can't just blindly say we need to move fast.
Right.
We need to move intelligently fast.
Yeah,
Yes.
we like to say we'd like to slow down to speed up. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's
Yeah.
going to be that curve. There's going to be that opportunity to stop and
Yep.
document and gather. But the end game or the end goal is that we can move fast. We can increase agility. And I think once that becomes sort of the driving force of the goal, we'll get out of that hero mentality. It won't be easy.
Oh,
It
no,
won't be
no.
easy.
I mean, and
by any means.
being a hero it gives them a feeling that's quite addictive.
feels good.
It feels
Yeah.
good. So you've got to
feels good.
replace that.
And they
way
know
of
they're coming
feeling
to
good
me
with
all the
another
time.
way.
I am the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy or the
Yeah.
gal. I always use the analogy from Tetris. So there's these two types of Tetris players, right? There's people who get the blocks
Yep.
and they even them up and they do
Yep.
one or two lines at a time. And there's the people who build for the Tetris, right?
Yep.
You build for that one single line to come and you can't wait for it. And you drop it in and all four go and you
Yep.
feel good.
Yeah.
But what happens when that
Yep.
line doesn't come, right? You just build up,
Reset.
all these
Yeah.
complexity.
Yeah.
So fix that. But you're
Fix
right,
it,
there
yeah.
needs to be the replacement element. I'm the same way. I'll build these
Yeah.
kind of micro
Yeah.
things to get that one because it feels
Yeah,
so
it feels
but-
good when you lose
Yeah,
that whole
yeah,
far
yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but when you
It's
keep
great,
getting
isn't it?
those weird pieces,
Yeah.
and you
No.
get frustrated.
Yeah, and
It's
you're
tough.
looking on the sidebar, waiting for that next.
It's not coming.
No, it's
No.
not. but that's the thing, right? It gets back to the organizational change. It gets back to the people dynamics,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, I'm just going to be doing this because we're supposed to be, bringing someone in, or we're going to have someone else, or this subordinate that's working for me, she's going to be the one that. But it never happens. I think that's the biggest thing that we struggle with is hitting the pause button, right? I'm engaged with one right now. I mean, as soon as I saw where they were going, there's so much, and they're trying to do some great stuff, but they've committed to so much. It's like hit pause. Call it whatever you want for politically, but hit pause. Get all those people that are trying to be heroes, and sometimes there's no choice. They're in positions that if they don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Yeah. Sure.
So we've got all those people. So we need to support that to get out of that hero mentality. And there's some people that they want to be it. Other people that step into it because
They
it's
have
got to
to.
get done.
Yeah.
Other times, we know if we go to Joe, it's going to get done. So there's, and I think that's why we struggle with it, because there is no one size fits all. It's all very, and because we're dealing with people, it's not as simple as, okay, X, Y, and Z. So you have to really kind of look at, all those different dynamics. And I think that's the hardest thing. And you're dealing with people. It's not,
Yeah.
nobody wants to hear
I
that.
think you have to be able to make that knowledge sharing enjoyable
Yeah.
and rewarding and easy.
And easy.
And easy.
If you don't do that, then your heroes are going to say, I don't have time for this. This is too hard.
And don't penalize them
Yeah.
the one time, like if they can't reach them, right? Your individual that was on vacation, where were you? You know, we had an outage that went 3 days because we couldn't reach you. Well, I was on that vacation that I scheduled 6 months out.
Exactly.
If he comes back and he gets hammered, well, guess what? If I'm him, I'm answering the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we do it to ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
We do.
No, we do.
yeah.
Well, that's been a really good chat.
Oh, it's
I think,
my
yeah, I mean,
pleasure.
heroes are a real issue.
Yes,
And-
they
You
are.
can put your
Yeah.
Wonder Woman costume back on.
Yeah.
and just-
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it is New Orleans. And
Yeah.
they're over, you know, the Halloween. So yeah, well, maybe I could fit in. I don't know though. The bearded lady. Maybe.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot
Doug.
for your time, Doug.
My pleasure.